Okay, so no introduction or introduction. I'll just do a short introduction. If you really care about my stuff, really give a rat's butt about my stuff, please like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification. If you truly care about myself, subscribe. Please subscribe to the channel. Fellow awesome people out there. Anyways, unless you're just brand new for the first time, that'd be even better. Please subscribe. But if you've been here before, you gotta subscribe. Please resubscribe again if you want to. That's worse than you guys. But anyways, I know it's like 3 or 4 days ago. There's the one that's a month ago, but I'm still gonna react to both of them anyways. I haven't reacted to nothing at all in a while. I've been like more or less a year, 8-9 months to more than a year, 12 months plus. Last time I reacted to anything content like Fatal Fury King of Fighters ever on this channel for a while. There's been a long ass hiatus since I've done any like reaction review commentary content for that reaction review, hype reaction review segments for my channel for this game franchise in a while, because I don't know if it's either A, it didn't really interest me that much, or B, I just missed it for a while. I don't know. So this is Fatal Fury. I forget that's what it's called. I keep saying COTW. I think City of the Wolves. That's what it was called. That was last year, and then the last time I reacted to something I heard before. The last time I reacted to anything about this franchise, video game commentary, video game like title, like franchise fighter series. That was a lot more bigger in South Korea and South America than it is in the United States. Unfortunately, the rest of the world is not really that popular. I don't know if times changed, because in the 90s, 2000s, early 2010s, it was a lot more bigger in places like South Korea, Central South America, especially in places like fucking Brazil and Argentina and South Korea. They worship the crap out of this freaking game franchise. Everywhere else around the world, it never got that popular. Maybe in the late 2010s or 2020s, it might have got a little bit more popular in other Asian and European first world countries and all that shit. Maybe over time, slowly, but it'll probably be considered an indie game in places like America or Canada or Europe or some parts of Asia or Australia and all those other areas around the world. Probably considered an indie game. You know, it's from a first freaking for FPS first person like AAA gaming company, the SNK. The ones that were a lot more popular and went around the world, I think, was King of Fighters and the Metal Slug series. I think it's the only two that kind of got a little bit more popularized, a lot more of a hugely, massively, a lot more popularized around the world. It was the Metal Slug series, and then the other series I think there was Contra, and then I was up. That's the only two I think that SNK ever really did a shit ton of mass popularity. And that was it, sadly. Well, this one, unfortunately, didn't go as big as the other big three, like StreetFighter, Tekken, and Mortal Kombat did. Those were popular all over the damn world. And I guess to a certain extent, like Killer Instincts a little bit. And I guess a little bit with Guilty Gear, too. Anyways. And, of course, Smash Bros. Ultimate, obviously, that one ginormously overlies, super popular overlies all over the world. I think got a shit ton of recognition when it was first released back in the 90s, early 2000s. It didn't, unfortunately, get as big. That this King of Fighter Fatal Fury didn't get as huge as that, sadly. Kind of got left in the dust, unfortunately. But it's still an oldie. It's an oldie but goodie. I feel like I got to give it a little bit of shine, credit, shine a light on it a little bit once in a while, you know? But anyways, Fatal Fury stage music, Solomun's Do Not Give Up. I rarely react to anything music related. It's just, I'm not really much of a big musical person, because when I was in the 90s, 2000s, because it was pretty much forbidden for me to listen to anything that had worldly music in it, except for fucking Christian and evangelical music. It's the only one I was allowed to listen to. And most of it was in Spanish. I didn't even know that shit until I was like 17, 18 years old, and I started learning it a lot better. But back then, no offense to anyone that's African American, black, or even Caucasians or white people, and those are the only two groups of people I was around. They're blacks or whites. Black kids or white kids, I only knew predominantly English. They didn't know Spanish at all. So, fortunately, I wasn't even learning what the fuck they were saying over there, too, as well. And then what else? What fucking goddamn else? One more thing before I react to both of these videos. I know one's over a month old. I'm way late to that one. What was it? Not trying to do childhood trauma, childhood dumping on you guys. I'm just saying. A lot of this shit, the reason I wasn't really musically influenced because I was very restricted to what I could watch on TV and stuff at the time. So my parents were very, very controlling what I was watching in the 90s, 2000s, which, you know, rightfully so, but I feel like my parents, especially my old man, my old woman, they really overdid the fuck out of it, in my goddamn fucking opinion. And it was annoying as fuck, but I had to do it. But whatever, they had to do it. That's why I never ever want to bring any children in this fucking world. Not because I'm gonna be an overbearing helicopter parent, but at the same time, I don't want to be too loose. And if I were to have a son or daughter, I want them to have complete advantage over me either. You know, it's got to be a balance of certain things. You know. Anyways, without further ado, Fatal Fury stage music, Solomun Don't Give Up. I know it's gonna have that 80s, 90s city pop music. It's gonna have that old school rock and roll music. Or it's gonna be like country style. Or it's gonna be techno, trance, deep house, rave. Because a lot of that shit was really, really big in the 90s, early mid 2000s, and that's kind of what Fatal Fury SNK company likes to do a lot. Because I've heard a few of their tracks in the really old games from the 90s, 2000s. A lot of the shit I grew up with knows fucking bangers is how Gen Z likes to call. So let's go. See how good this shit sounds with that. Is it gonna be music, or is it gonna be vocals, or is it just gonna be a beat? That's it. It sounds a lot more like Tekken StreetFighter. That's all I'm getting the vibes off of that. Okay. So right so far. Looks like something from a Japanese Asian company, a Korean company. And it sounds pretty generic, but it's pretty likely. I'm gonna give me Grand Theft Auto vibes from it. I'm going to get a GTA Grand Theft Auto vibes from it. I want the trailer from GTA 5. A little bit Grand Theft Auto 6. Is there more to it? Is there that's the only part that's going to be of the loops again? Okay, so it changes the tiny bit, not that much. Very, very fine, very smooth and relaxing. It was never really like energetic beat. And there's that one, but it still feels loose a little bit. Not in the music, it's just oh yeah, this is so oh, it's got a little bit of chips in it. Okay. I like that. That's probably the best part of this freaking music stage theme song so far. OST music song so far. Oh! Okay. When was that part? That's the last 25-30 seconds of the soundtrack. They should have just kept the chip tune in there all the time. That was the best part so far. Okay. See that SNK, I see you guys. That's the last finishing part now. Oh, finished. Alright, so that's it. Not really much to say. Feels like it's blending with a whole bunch of other music themes from other video game franchises that are out there, but the only part I like the most, if you heard me talking, was like the chiptune part. The chiptune little 8/16-bit part at the end. That sounded really cool. Reminds me of the OG Grand Theft Auto 3 PS2, GameCube, and the real old school Sega Dreamcast era and Xbox era. That late 90s, early mid 2000s sort of vibe. Which I'm not surprised that's what they went with. I don't know if in South Korea and Japan, if that type of 80s, 90s, early 2000s, like city pop music is still a thing over there. Because here in the United States, everything's got to be way past that. It's like 2020s, 2030s pretty soon. Another 4.5 more years. It'll be that type of music. And all that shit, sadly, is just going to be AI generated from fucking algorithms. It's not going to be real human beings making music anymore. It's extremely sad and depressing when you think about that shit, but unfortunately, That's the fucking lifestyle that the United States and Canada and all the first world countries want. The futurism, technology, and all that shit, and just forget everything about the past and fucking bury it, burn it the fuck out, and put two things in the back of the head of it. That's how I see it, sadly. You don't want to preserve any of that shit. That's like how hardcore gamers always talk about gaming preservations all the freaking time. And the gaming preservation is extremely important, but unfortunately, everything's gonna go digital whether we like it or not, sadly. I know I fucking despise and disgrace the fuck out of it, but there's nothing I can do about it. Anyways, see you guys in a second. I'll react to the Ken Masters freaking video, even though it's a month old, but at least it's something a little bit more better. I could actually see what his art style looks like, because I seen the thumbnail for it, I just didn't react to it, so give me a quick second. Okay, so here's this one I wanted to react to, Ken Masters, Fatal Fury, StreetFighter series, Ken Masters, but he's in the Fatal Fury universe, so his art style design is probably going to be a lot more different looking than it was for Street Fighter 5 and 6. Everybody knows who the hell Ken is. He needs no introduction, so just hop into it. Let's go. Hopefully it's recording. Yeah, there we go. I don't got no thoughts, views, opinions, speculations on it. In the first one, the second one I do a little bit more popular. You know, it's old as hell.
So Ken, fire still burns, I hope. You bet. Extra hot, just like we said. Whatever. Don't say I didn't warn you. Look, I got my own problems. No disrespect, but you don't got a chance. Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves.
Oh, that's cool. They even thoughts, views, opinions, speculations, hot takes, views, world views, bullet points, yada yada, broad, harsh opinions, etc. Thoughts, vibes, feelings. My viewpoint, my speculation, my thoughts on those, my visual viewpoint at hand here. That's cool. They gave him his his traditional old, like the red freaking uniform he always wore all the time. That with the little black belt with the freaking red uniform, the jumpers, and his yellow black gloves. That's still the same. That's cool. So that's his extra DLC, like his traditional original 1989, 1991, or 1993, late 80s, early 90s, before and after I was born. That version of Ken Masters freaking original freaking costume that he had when he first started way back in the day. It's crazy because it's like literally the same age as me. I was like 31, 32, 35 years old. The whole Street Fighter franchise in general. I forgot when it was because the Turbo one came out and I was like still a baby in diapers, like 4 or 5, and then like I think Street Fighter 3 or 4 came out when I was like, I think when I was finishing elementary school and I was starting middle school, so like between 1999, 2000 or 2003, Street Fighter 3, 4, and then of course Street Fighter 5 was way after like my second, third year of community college I was going at the time. That's when Street Fighter Ken came out a while back, it was like 15, 16 years ago. And then of course the last one was like 2021, 2022, or 2023. Street Fighter 6, like 3 or 4.5 years ago. Not that long ago. So other ultra thoughts, views, opinions, speculations, yada yada, etc, and that shit. My vibes and takes on it. Man. The music remix, if you didn't hear what I said before, I'll say it again. The music, freaking guitar, sounds so fucking good, man. At its peak there. That is absolutely music and ear candy to my ears. I know it's because it's a nostalgia. I have a nostalgia bias for it. I'm not gonna lie, I did like Ryu's theme a little bit more than Ken's theme. And the most, too, it's probably a triple tie, not a double, triple tie. It's not even because they're all girls either. It was probably Judy Hans, Chun-Li, and the other girl, the one that was called Cammy. Their original ones from Street Fighter 2, 3, and 4, their music themes were really good. Street Fighter 5's Judy Hans music theme, it was kind of garbage. I didn't like it too much. And 6 one was even worse, so I don't know. It's just because she was one of my top 5 super OP, prettiest goddess waifu girls on my list for Street Fighter back in the day, in the early mid-2010s. So she fell from grace, but Cammy and Chun-Li, they're still a tie, which I'm glad they are, because even to this day, as a grown-ass man, 36, I still freaking have them as the best waifus in the fucking game. All goddamn time. Oh, I never get sick and tired of those two, ever. Those are their music tracks. They will always be in my heart and soul forever. I love the hell out of their music themes. The traditional ones, that was the 8, 16-bit chiptune one, and all the music remixes that came with it too. The Street Fighter 6 ones, I'm not as crazy about. The Chun-Li one sounded a little bit better, but the Cammy one kind of disappointed me a little bit. I see what they were going. They were trying to reach more with Gen Z or Gen Alpha, but I wasn't feeling it that much. So Chun-Li is still number 1 in Street Fighter 1 through 6. And that's it. That's all I can say for now. I'm out of here. No outro today. Peace out. I'm on this talk to you guys soon. Stay cautious. Stay tuned for future content videos, reaction videos, segment videos, and random videos. I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy. Goodbye. I'm out. Goodbye. Deuces. Talk to you guys soon. I'm out. Stay tuned for future video rants and video video game industry as well. All right. Take care. I'm gone. Late. See you soon.